I see
I'm
you here.
on. Oh, okay,
Yep.
we're good. All right, good shit. All right, that's what's up.
Behind the
What
scenes,
up?
baby.
Yeah, what up? What up? What up? What up, everyone? What's going on? We got my boy Sean Martin here. What's going on? How's everything going, brother?
Great, brother. Always blessed. Too blessed
Yeah,
to be stressed.
yeah, man. That's right, brother. As soon as
Excited
we
about
wake
my
up.
first live. Get to pop my cherry.
That's right, bro. As soon as we wake up, it's a blessing, bro. So speaking about being blessed, right? The minute them feet hit the floor, I'm saying thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
You know what I
all
mean?
how we take on the day.
Word. For everyone who's joining in on the chat, man, drop where you're from, drop your name, show some love. Today we wanted to talk a little bit about some continuing education, and man, it's so important to have continuing education, and no matter what it is you do in life, right? Whatever you're doing for what you do for a living, continuing education is always crucial for your growth. And man, I mean, I know I practice continuing education often throughout the year. I'm going to different events and listening to people who did it before me and learning how they did it. So this way I could grow and be able to do that. I've been doing that for a long time in every industry that I've ever been in, man. What's your take on continuing education though, Sean, and being in the room like that, man?
Yeah, sure. I mean, continuing education when I was coming up was always all right if you were certified in any kind of nursing, more advanced degrees, doctors, lawyers. They're always required, most times on a yearly basis, to go back and continue learning any of the new trends, new practices, or just new protocols within their industries. And that goes for teachers and all kinds of various professions. However, what's not talked about, and it took me till I was in my early 40s to learn, was there's an entire world of education available to me and to anyone else seeking it out in the form of masterminds, conferences, and all kinds of rooms, big and small, in every single field you can think of, whether it's fitness, whether it's real estate. Within real estate, there's commercial real estate, multifamily homes, flipping, Airbnb, short-term, mid-term, long-term. There's so much to learn, and there's so many avenues to learn it. And what I've learned in these last few years more than any other time in my life is, and I just had this conversation with a gentleman at a dinner yesterday with some buddies who I met on the way out of the room, ironically, and he happened to be part of a mastermind that I, have been part of, and we just started chopping it up. And at 56 years old, the gentleman finally was like, listen, I'm tired of being the smartest guy at the table. I'm tired of being the guy with the most money at the table. And that's what that light bulb going off in your head tells you, which is I need to be around people who are going to help me elevate my game. And it doesn't have to be a required certification. It just has to be something that you want to go chase. And how are you going to find that room? Use the internet as a tool instead of a distraction. That's first and foremost. And yeah, you can gain some knowledge from a YouTube video, but there's no real world experience like picking the brain of somebody who's taken the bumps and the bruises on their own journey to, finding success in whatever avenue it is.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And you speak about like just making sure that you're in that room, because it's not only the people that are speaking at the events that you're going to, it's the people that are inside the room, the connections that you make, the people that you meet. I mean, we met in a room like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And took our friendship to the next level, and being able to continue to bounce ideas off of each other and work together like we are now. And the amount of people that you have in those rooms and the amount of resources that are in that room that you go to, oh man, sky's the limit, man. And it can really take your business and your life to the next level. And, also like you spoke a little bit about like the help part. And man, there's so many people, entrepreneurs, and just all types of businesses that people are scared to ask for help. Why? Because they let their ego get in the way. And allowing your ego to get in the way stunts your growth, because you're not willing to go out there and ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There's so many people out there that want to help. All you got to do is ask, raise your hand and say, I don't know this, I don't know that. I need help with this. I need help with that. You see how many people will come to your rescue to help you and help you take that to the next level. You'll never be able to grow if you shy away from going to events like that or from asking for help, man. It's so crucial to your growth.
Yeah, and it's not like you're at the dinner table with family and friends, because access to information there is limited. And depending who your family and friends are, then maybe I'm incorrect. And hopefully you get to a table where your family and friends are all on your level or even better, and you can draw from the people you love and care about the most. But unfortunately, like I was telling this gentleman last night when we met, is you've got to seek out these rooms. And sometimes you've got to fly out. And you've got to invest not only to get in the room, but you've got to invest in the hotel. You got to buy a plane ticket. You got to rent an Airbnb, maybe get 2 bedrooms. It doesn't matter. The point is, you can go out to dinner, spend a couple $100. You could go out to the club, spend a couple $100. You can spend a couple $100 on Jordans. We love to dress nice. We love nice cars. But I have never spent an immense amount of money like I have in the last 2 years. I've spent over 6 figures. This year is going to be well over 6 figures in continuing to push myself forward. And people hear these numbers, and they're just blown away. Like, first of all, I'm blessed to have it. But it doesn't have to be an obstacle. Money doesn't have to be an obstacle because there's all kinds of rooms. I'm in a commercial academy, a great group run by a great guy, full of a great team and community of people. You can get into one of their events for $500. It's a 3-day event. That event will change your life. It will teach you the inner workings of commercial real estate, an otherwise previously thought inaccessible avenue that people can create wealth, cash flow, and generational net worth. But they don't know about it. And then when the numbers come up, they get scared by it. You know, if somebody tells you you're going to go to a steakhouse and it's going to be a couple $100 and you go in knowing that, you happily pay it to have a good time. But that may not be pushing your life forward. So, again, there's all budgets, all types of rooms for all types of people in all types of categories. You've just got to seek it out and take a chance on it. And you mentioned how we met. And Joe and I met through a group that is a public speaking, motivational speaking group. And they have a chapter which is pretty much like the Northeast. It's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. But, you know, that's a big area. Like New York City in and of itself, getting to Long Island could be an hour and a half or 2-hour drive, depending on traffic. So going to Jersey is like a 3-hour drive each way. So it's not really like conducive. So you and I linked up because we were the only 2 heads from Long Island. Yeah. And we just decided to go to lunch one day and we hit it off and we loved each other's message. We shared so many similarities and so many of the struggles we've overcome. And we've been in some of the same rooms, but not at the same time. And we've been impacted by the lessons that we've learned and the people that we've met in those rooms. So it's invaluable, man, to want to continue growing. And, you know, the unfortunate reality is not everybody understands that. We fall into complacency. You know, we get the job, the gig, you know, and you show up and you just keep showing up. But there's this gut feeling that you were meant for more. There's something itching you inside that, listen, this job is covering the bills. And okay, maybe we take a vacation a year if we're fortunate enough. Maybe you can dress nice if you're fortunate enough. But something inside of you is calling you to do more. You've got to start seeking out the people that feel just like you. That feel just like you, that feel just like me. And I truly believe God connected us for a greater purpose so we can make some differences out here in the lives of kids in Long Island, get on some stages together, share our stories of overcoming obstacles, traumas, addictions, and the like. And you know, sky's the limit. We're just getting started. So,
yeah, man. I mean, you know, growing up, my family had a saying which was, dime con quien andas y te digo quién eres. Tell me who you walk with, and I'm going to tell you who you are. If you surround yourself with people who will inspire you, guess what? You're always going to be inspired to do more with your life. Absolutely. Having a support group is absolutely vital And going to places like this or events like that is how you're going to be able to build that support group. And it goes with anything you're trying to do, any type of success you're trying to have in whatever area of life. I remember when I achieved sobriety, I had to build a support network. I went to places where I could find other people who were sober and connected with them and found out what steps they took to get sober and stay sober. And when I built myself back up to another 7-figure business, I started networking with other people in my industry who were multimillionaires and connecting with them and finding out what steps they took to build their business to a multi-million-dollar business. Start by going to events and places you know people who can help you out and help you grow. And you mentioned earlier about like, man, I mean, people could go out, we could spend money on Jordans, we could spend money on steakhouses, we could spend money on jewelry, on all the shit that you're spending money out there on. And also, think about it this way. If you're investing in stocks, real estate, whatever it is, and you're throwing money into those assets, remember, you're your biggest asset. There's no asset you're going to get bigger than yourself. So investing in yourself is crucial, man. If you want to take your life, your business, and just your overall, like, create wealth financially, emotionally, spiritually, it's all got to be connected, but you got to take it from within. So you got to invest in yourself, man, because there's no bigger asset you're going to have out there than yourself. You want to leave that legacy behind? You got to invest in yourself, man. It's crucial for your growth.
I'll take it a step further. There's never a bad time to invest in yourself. The market may be down. It may be volatile. Crypto is unfortunately tied to the market now, so it's running the same race. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. And one day it may be down so dramatically that it's going to cause you to lose your investment. Investing in yourself is never a time-based game. It's never too late. It's never too early. And there's never a wrong time to take your resources and pour them into yourself. Because when you grow as a person, everything around you grows as well. So I have a great example of doing Tony Robbins Platinum Mastermind, which we're both familiar with. It's the most expensive mastermind in the world that I'm aware of. Although now that I've been in these circles, it's not. And I'm going to be part of that one too, because I just see the value in throwing money at educating and investing in myself, and then the network of people I get to surround myself with. I've got 4 people on my phone right now with private jets. Not people I can say, hey, come pick me up right now, but people that would answer my text and pick up my call if it was scheduled, because they're busy people, and I could bounce things off of them. And that's invaluable. And another person that I'd meet in other masterminds that I'm part of will be like, oh, well, Tony Robbins is really expensive, because it's a stretch for them. And I get it. And the first question they always ask is, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? What am I going to get for my 6-figure investment? And my comeback was always, well, I was on the brink of divorce. I was extremely unhappy, in my own family life, despite having this amazing life. My entire perspective shifted. I'm living my best life ever with the same exact parts that were intact before. But me, I'm different. This is different. This is different. My entire world is different now. How do you put a return on investment tag on that? It's priceless. And that was my experience. Maybe everybody's not going to soak it all up, but I can guarantee that whatever you put into it, you're going to get out tenfold, because you're going to meet people that are going to elevate your game, not just financially, spiritually, emotionally, in just every facet of your life. And some things you can put a price tag on, and some things you can't. So again, it's whatever your hesitation is out there, Nike, just do it. Just do it. And start small. Start with whatever you can afford. There's virtual masterminds. Some of them are free. They're going to upsell you. Maybe it's $49.95 a month. It's worth it, because you're putting yourself in a position to learn new information that's going to add value to who you are as a human being, and then you're in turn going to add value to everything else that you're doing, whether it's in your personal life, professional life, it doesn't matter. So I'm a huge proponent for investing in yourself, like you said, and circling back. There's never a wrong time to do it. Never. There's never a down market in bettering yourself.
No, that's the perfect answer right there, man. Because the markets could be upside down, the economy, quote unquote, could be upside down. But when you invest in yourself, man, that's the biggest ROI you're gonna get. I don't care what investment you make out there. There's no bigger ROI you're gonna make on helping yourself grow, than making yourself grow and taking your business, your life, your spirituality, all of that to the next level. I mean, it's priceless, like you said. And there's no other ROI out there that's priceless. There's no other ROI out there also where there's a guarantee like that, right? Because the ROI is you're definitely gonna grow by being in the rooms, in these type of rooms. Whatever it is you do, when you go to an event where there's people, like-minded individuals doing what you do, you got no other choice but to grow.
Okay.
I mean,
and whoever's listening to this, the biggest challenge is your mind. You've talked yourself out of it. I'm here to tell you, Joe's here to tell you, you are enough. You are worthy, but you've got to put in the steps and you've got to take the time to invest in yourself. So many of us just carry this burden of, who am I to dream these big dreams? Who am I to want more than anyone around me's ever attained or accomplished? And the truth is, you're a child of God and you're deserving of all the spoils that God's put in front of us, whether they are spiritual or worldly, obviously within balance. And just so many of us are raised in mindsets where, money's the root of all evil, for one. It's the biggest lie ever told. And it's something that I think people that don't have, the have-nots, have convinced themselves of, so that they don't have to kind of look in the mirror and say, well, am I doing enough? Am I enough? Am I putting enough effort in? And unfortunately, the reality is probably not. If you believe that money's the root of all evil, I'd love to sit down with you and have a conversation about how money can do very, very good things, not only in your life, but for people you love and for people you don't even know. You can help change the world, and it takes financial resources to do it. So it's all about a perspective shift, and education is no different. Am I happy where I'm at? Probably not in a lot of cases. Well, then how do I get myself to a place where I am more fulfilled and more purposeful and happier? And the way to do it, the easiest way to do it, is putting yourself in a room in a continuing education session, particularly, in my opinion, around mindset, because this is the thing that holds us back more than anything else. Fear is false evidence appearing real. If you can get in a room where you're learning the tools to overcome your self-inflicted fears, the world is yours. It truly is, because I said it. Nothing in my life changed other than my perspective. So I went from unhappiness, unfulfillment, and now I am more fulfilled and happier than I've ever been, and on a journey to create legacy, not only financially, but purpose-driven change in the world and making impact. And it's all because I just changed that perspective. And for you and I, it started with getting sober and getting clear, as opposed to using that particular tool to create a fog around, running from the things that we had to run toward in order to grow.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. I remember putting the drugs down. For me, that was the easy part. It was changing my mindset and having that paradigm shifts, changing my attitude and behaviors. That's where the work came in. And you spoke about how important it is to realize that your mind and the story you tell yourself, how you could talk yourself out of going to an event like that, or how you could talk yourself down and beat yourself up, man. We could be our biggest critics. We are our biggest critics. And if we allow our mind to go places where it's not supposed to go, then it could create disaster. because our thoughts are the most powerful things we have. Our mind, our thoughts become our emotions. Those emotions become our reactions. Those reactions become our reality. And it's so real to really understand how important it is to control your thoughts and realize, like you mentioned, we're spiritual beings living this human experience. We could do anything we put our mind to, right? And when you allow those limited beliefs to take place, like you spoke about, money's the root of evil, money doesn't grow on trees. That's shit we hear from childhood coming up, right? And then it stays in your mind, and you think that there's money's the root of evil. You think that there's a limit on money because money doesn't grow on trees, right? When there's an abundance of money out there. And you spoke about like that whole spirituality piece, right? And the money and how people think it can't connect. Man, is it so fucked up to think like that, because it's the complete opposite, bro. The more spirituality you have in your life, the more abundance you have, the more doors that get open, the more mountains that get moved. And being able to create spiritual wealth. Yeah, listen, spirituality definitely consists of having a higher source involved, right? I call it God. Somebody else might call it the infinite intelligence, the universe, whatever they believe. And realizing that, say that again?
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, whatever works for you. And realizing that spirit, that higher source, right, is going to help you unlock your fullest potential when you're really connected with that higher source. That's a big part of spirituality. But also spirituality is about walking and living in your purpose, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really going out there and making a difference in the world. People always ask me in my coaching program, how do you find your why? And one thing I always say, bro, is imagine you were told you only had 1 year left to live. What would you be doing? A lot of people don't like thinking about death, but death forces us to focus on the truly important things in life. Absolutely. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be? And it's like just really go out there and start connecting with other people who are going to help you grow, man, because get the toxic people out of your life. They're not going to help you. You're not going to go anywhere with those people. If they're people that maybe even loved ones sometimes can be toxic. And you know what? Yeah. You got to love them from a distance. They don't let them stunt your growth, because there's people around you right now that could be dream stompers that are stopping you from living to your fullest potential because you're not surrounding yourself with the right people in life. You're not connecting to those people, and you're creating, toxic energy in your life, that catabolic draining energy. Go towards that anabolic energy, man.
Yeah. You'd be amazed at what you can gain by letting go. And letting go, or letting the illusion of control go, opens up so many doors in all aspects of your life. Best thing I've done in the last 2 years is start to get on my knees and pray almost every morning. It was a challenge at first, and now it's automatic. And it's not difficult. I mean, I ask God to give me the love, the light, and the strengths, and just help me get through the day and shed light on someone's day. So it could be a waitress, it could be a housekeeper if I'm at a hotel. I give them a smile, a nod. I ask how they're doing. Have a great day. It doesn't have to be difficult, and neither does anybody's journey toward growth. It can be very simple and start very small, but it is moving forward. It is taking action, and that's the most important thing I can implore anybody listening to do, is just get started. Whatever it is that lights you up and you want to be doing, or whatever you think you want to be doing, even if you don't know for sure, just start doing something toward that end, and the rest will figure itself out.
Yeah, man, that's real. You hit a chord here with that prayer and meditation moment, man, because, man, was that a piece that was missing from my life? That spiritual component, that spiritual connection. I remember after losing my mom, my life went dark, overdosed twice. I'm mad at God for taking my mom. I didn't even know what a relationship with God was, bro. I thought it was saying Our Father, Hail Mary, and asking for forgiveness when necessary. And throughout my journey, I learned to build a relationship with God, where today He's my father, my brother, my mother, my uncle, my best friend, my everything. And taking that moment in the morning, the first thing I do, as soon as my feet hit the floor, I'm saying, thank you, thank you. I'm having my moment of gratitude and prayer and meditation. And it started off as 1 to 3 minutes, right? And now today, there's days where it lasts 45 minutes to an hour because I got so much to be thankful for. I got such a tight relationship with that higher source that I'm connecting throughout my day, bro. Like there's times where I'm in my car and thank God for Bluetooth, bro, because people would think I'm talking to myself because I'm having a conversation with God. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like having that connection is so important, man. It's so vital to your overall well-being, to just your life as a whole, man, and taking that moment. Like I said, whatever you believe is up to you, but taking that moment because it helps you be able to learn to also sit with yourself and really get to know yourself, because we're so much involved in the hustle and bustle, going out there, making moves, this and that. Sometimes people forget to take that moment to sit with themselves and start learning themselves. Listen to the way you think. The way you're going to do that is through prayer and meditation, man. There's no more powerful way than that.
Agreed. And it looks different for everybody. So lean into whatever works for you. If you don't have 30 minutes, you got 30 seconds. It doesn't matter. They hear you. And, even if you're a Buddhist, I love the concept of Buddhism. For even those people that are on the fence about belief, God is within you. And we can start there. You control your own destiny. If you choose to be God, not from an ego standpoint, but hey, just admitting to yourself, I don't understand. I don't necessarily believe there's something out there. There's some energy. There's some greater existence that is guiding light. God is within you. So take the first step to just speak to your inner self and start to give over that control that maybe you don't need to understand everything. But if you give over that control, it will all start to make more sense. And that was a resistance point for me, which getting sober alleviated. I always found myself to be a spiritual person. There were times in my life where admittedly I was an atheist when I was younger, and those were not good times in my life. I believe that I was the end all be all of everything. And I controlled every facet of my own life, and things were unfair. And again, it was just not a good time in my life. And, some of the outcomes I got at the time were proof of that. But it wasn't until I started to lean into my faith that the doors really started to open up for me. And that's one of the things I've also found about a lot of successful entrepreneurs. They are very, very grounded and based in spirituality. And I think it's an oft overlooked component to succeeding in life, not necessarily financially, just in life. So you can overcome and take on all the obstacles that daily life is going to present in your path. Now, when things challenge me, they're challenges. They're like, oh, this is an opportunity now for me to grow. I can, it can be an argument. It can be someone road raging on the road, and I just meet them with grace. I've actually had encounters where people pull up next to me and start yelling, and I'll roll down the window, and I'll just say, my apologies, brother or sister. I was in the wrong there. Are we really going to do this? And just flash a smile, and that person just completely softens, because they know that, okay, it's not that serious, but maybe they were having a bad day, and that little reaction that I didn't come back with that same energy just changed the day for them, for me, obviously, because it could go either way at that point. And that's just one example of how, finding grace and gratitude and taking the time to enhance your spiritual connection can benefit in your day-to-day life. I mean, something as seemingly, mundane as just driving somewhere. Spirituality plays a part in all of it, and living a better life.
Yeah, man. I mean, turning the will over sometimes can be challenging, but it's so crucial, man, to realize you don't got to drive that car by yourself. Let that higher source drive the car, man. You're gonna get a lot more further places in life, and it's so crucial, man, because there's so many people out there, bro, like who struggle with spirituality, and they could have everything in the world. I mean, there's been so many people that we've seen like that. You know what I mean? Where they have all this money and then something's missing, and they end up taking their life to drugs and alcohol. They end up taking their life, committing suicide. I mean, Chris Farley, Robin Williams. I mean, the list goes on and on of just
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Just to name a few.
You know what I mean? So it's all of them, and it's because there was something missing, right?
I got a beautiful quote to touch on that and wrap it up, because I've got another meeting. But a buddy of mine, he says, the monk never seeks out advice from the billionaire. It's the billionaire that goes searching for the monk for advice on life. And sometimes it gravitates back towards simplicity, because life is very complex and we're very far away from the true nature of how we were designed to live on this planet. Our natural instincts, we're very far from those. So our bodies, our minds are under constant stressors that we weren't designed for. But physically, your brain doesn't know the difference between the bills being overdue and you being evicted soon, or a predator chasing you and you running for your life. It has the same negative effect. The only difference is when you were running from the predator, that was a short-lived moment. And then if you were fortunate enough to get away from whatever was attacking you or hunting you, you eventually calm back down. That bill may come due in 30 days. You're carrying that stress constantly for 30 days. And one of the easiest ways that we can learn to relieve ourselves of that constant man-made stress and pressure is through prayer, through meditation, and through spirituality. It'll help us get through a lot easier.
Yeah, man. Don't forget, man. Get out there, learn how to pray and meditate, learn how to connect with yourself, and yet more importantly, your higher self, because that's going to take you to places that you never thought you could go, man.
Absolutely.
Sean, man, this has been dope, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you, brother.
Working together with us, and everyone who watched, we appreciate your support, man. And we'll see you.
Appreciate you too, brother. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you for that. Thank you for the opportunity. Chop it up.
Stay blessed. Have a productive and profitable rest of the day, y'all.
Yes, sir.